Hi, this is Tyler Woods, and you're listening to KMKRLP 99.9 Tucson, and you're listening to Music Matters. Today I'm really excited because I have Connie Brannock in the studio. Hi, Connie.
Hi, Tyler.
God, I'm excited that you're here. I think half of Tucson's excited that you're here. How does that make you feel?
It makes me feel unbelievable. It's so sweet. I'm very humbled.
You know, isn't that part of music is when people really, really love what you do, and when they tell you, you're like, because you're doing this what you love.
Mm-hmm. Well, my mission statement is to extend joy through music. That's my mission statement, and nothing delights me more than seeing a packed dance floor or seeing a table full of Tucsonans in the hot summertime listening and enjoying music of not just the music that I play, which sometimes can be jazz and sometimes can be, but mainly folks come out to dance. But supporting singer-songwriters around town and all the different genres. We're very lucky to live in Tucson.
Well, we're number 7.
We're number 7.
Number 7 in the nation for best local music. So
I read that as well. I think that was that in Forbes?
It was, yes, it was. And then it went into newspapers and everything because word got out.
That's right.
Several people I've interviewed lately said, here's the reason why. Is everybody in California wants to go to Austin to make it, but they get to Tucson and they get pooped out, so they just stay here. And then we get them.
Yeah.
And so I kind of like it. So Connie, I kind of know you a little bit. We used to jam together.
That's right.
And I came and saw you before I got way too busy, way too much. I could see you every day. Tell me a little bit about you, because I bet you our listeners who just really like you would love to know, who is Connie Brannock? So who are you? Tell us a little bit. I know you were in the Army, but tell us who you are and what you love.
Well, I'm a small town girl originally, and I grew up, I was born in 1955, and I grew up on a beautiful river called the Choptank River.
Where?
In Maryland.
Maryland,
on the Delmarva Peninsula on the eastern shore of Maryland. My father used to have a bumper sticker that said there was no light west of the Chesapeake Bay. And it has it's much different than the Baltimore, Washington metropolitan area. It's very, well, I don't know how to describe it, but I can shuck an oyster and I can pick some crabs, and I can shell some peas.
Shell some peas?
I can shell some peas. Yes,
right.
I can. It was this kind of soil where we grew up that if you were eating watermelon on the back stoop and you were spitting seeds in the backyard, there'd be a little plant sprouting in the next couple weeks in the backyard.
Oh, cool.
Right on the river. It was a brackish river, so you could catch saltwater or freshwater fish.
Wow.
And yeah,
what a way to grow up.
What a way to grow up. It was beautiful.
No kidding.
Beautiful. You could go everywhere. I rode my bike everywhere. I went everywhere you could possibly go as a 9, 10-year-old. I went fishing by myself, and my dad taught me how to fish, and I wasn't very good at getting eels off the hook. I remember when I was about 9 or 10 years old.
Oh my, how a freak, because they're like snakes.
Yeah, I had to walk through town with an eel dangling from my little pole in one hand and my little bike in the other. And
to have your dad take the eel off?
By the time I got uptown,
that thing would be dead, wouldn't it?
From Long Wharf, it had given up the struggle. But this gentleman came out of, I think it was Brambles, and he said, "You're Harold's daughter, aren't you? You need help with that?" So he took it off the hook. He goes, "Let's leave it for the city workers," and he threw it in the garbage can right there on the street. So I'll never forget that, though. And that's how I grew up. I mean, it was wonderful. And I grew up in a community that was, that we had segregation, and I grew up in the middle of segregation. And we were the only small town in America to be in the race riots. It's featured in Life magazine. Taylor Swift, Cambridge, Maryland, is in Taylor Swift's Pillars of Fire for the atrocities of how what we had to go through to get to the other side and to have a greater sense of knowingness about one another. A lot of the fear faded away through that conflict. I went to school with first class to go, first Caucasian class to go to the all black school.
Oh.
And we looked at each other and we're like, well, wait a minute. Y'all don't look alike. Well, y'all don't look alike either. I mean, we realized that what we've been told.
Yeah, what you were taught was not
Yeah,
true.
yeah. And so I fell in love with soul music and everything. I had an African American band teacher. I'd gone from middle school to Mr. Batson, and he taught me how to march down the street with my trombone with that little groove played on the rim of the snare
So
drum.
that's how you got into the soulness that you have, huh?
Yep.
That's good.
Yeah,
That's
he
good
was
to
something
hear.
else. It was wonderful. And yeah, our high school was 40% African American, and I played basketball, and I was broad daylight. My senior year, I was the only Caucasian that started, and probably the worst player on the team. But I represented, and I was good at calling plays, and I loved it. I had a great childhood.
Oh, good. That's good. Tell me how you got into music and when you got into music.
I think every small town in America, after seeing Ed Sullivan, the Beatles on Ed Sullivan, everybody had to start a
Every
band.
musician I have, yes, absolutely. You're about the sixth person
Yeah.
that has said that. Ed Sullivan did it for us, didn't he?
It was either Tom or Ronnie. One of my classmates said, "We're starting a band." Great. I said, "I want to be the drummer." No, Ronnie's going to be the drummer because his brother has a drum set. I said, well, what am I going to do? I was a trombone player at that time, and that wasn't a very hip instrument for a rock band. And so they go, well, you're gonna play the organ. The organ. Oh, okay. Kind of like I can't remember. There was a band that had this Vox Jaguar, and it was, I don't know if it was the damn, I can't remember. Dun 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 dun. The Mysterians.
Oh, Jay and the Mysterians? No. But I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
There's
Question mark?
question mark in the Mysterians.
The
That's it.
Mysterians,
You got
yes.
it.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
And so I got this Vox Jaguar, and I don't know how I got the thing. I guess my dad probably got it for me. But and we started practicing. And I had to be a singer. I'm like, singer? I had never even crossed my mind to be a singer.
Right.
So I'm the only woman in the band, but I'm one of the guys.
Right.
Because I was a trombone
How old
player.
were you?
I was 14.
Okay.
And we were learning how to play our instruments in the garage together. And we ended up getting our first gig at the church parish house.
Oh.
And I couldn't dance. And so I was a jock, so all of my girlfriends were trying to help me learn how to dance.
I can see it.
And I was standing, I was petrified, and I had my finger in my ear. And the first thing I did, the first song I had to sing, this is probably why I sing the way I do, was they were like, well, you have to sing Traveling Band by Creedence. I went, oh, I do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Tom's like, I need to play the guitar part. I'm like, okay. So there I was, 747 coming out of the sky. Oh, won't you take me down to Memphis on a midnight ride? I want to move. So I had my little finger in my ear to make sure I had my pitch. I don't think there were such things as monitors back then. And I was just so nervous, and I opened my eyes and realized that people were having fun. Then since I couldn't dance, and I still can't dance very well, but I jump well. I'm jumping up and down.
You jump good.
I'm a good jumper. I'm like a...
But I've seen you at a party trying to twerk, by the way.
Yeah, it was terrible, wasn't it?
No, you did fine.
Well, I was told once that I danced like a boxer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I
It
do,
could be
and I
worse.
do.
It
I
could
do.
be worse.
Yeah, it could be.
You could dance like me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, God.
So that was the first song, and at that time we were called Luke, and we ended up buying a 1-ton bread truck we painted our name on the side. We put out a 45 RPM record. It's a little single. We were actually we worked hard, and we got pretty tight, the four of us. I was heartbroken. We played together 5 years. We used to play in Philadelphia. We used to play colleges, and we played the William and Mary, Franklin and Marshall in Pennsylvania. So we had a manager,
Wow.
Never met him, but basically he would get us gigs and
Okay.
take a percentage. And here were these kids out there on the road,
Wow.
16,
So
17 years old.
you started very, very young.
Very young, and we would play 5 sets a night from 9 to 2.
Yeah. Oh my
And
gosh.
no wonder my knees. I mean,
Yeah, I know
I
you
need
got
a double
knee
knee
issues.
replacement
Yeah.
because I'm putting it off as long as I can. I just try to keep fit and keep my legs strong. But when I was young, I used to leap over the jukebox,
Oh my God.
land on my
see
knee, and
it.
slide across the floor, catch myself. Didn't so I wouldn't put full impact. I mean, it was nuts. I mean, it was insane.
Well, real quick, let's hear a song that gets you jumping.
Oh my gosh. You know one of my very favorite funk songs of all times?
What?
Funkin' for Jamaica by Tom Brown.
Oh, I'll have to But do you have that on your CD?
Oh, on the CD.
Yes.
Oh, I don't usually dance to my own songs.
But you got to tell me something about your CD.
Oh, I'll tell you about this.
And
All right.
select one song so they can hear who we're interviewing.
Well, you know a song I'd like to for you to listen to? Well, there's a couple of them, but that are Tucson-specific songs. You have Chorizo and Eggs,
Yes.
and then I have Lady on the Bus, which was written about the Broadway bus, number 8.
Let's start with Theresa and Eggs.
Chorizo and Eggs.
This is Tyler Woods, and you're listening to Connie Brannock's Theresa and Eggs.
I was walking one morning, the sun was coming up. Along came this old cowboy in a pickup truck. He said, honey, can I buy you something to eat? I want to see what you got on top of those big old feet. I said, baby, I'm kind of hungry. Why don't you open up that door? I'll jump right in so you can look a little bit more. We headed down the highway, pulled some chorizo. Ooh, I'm hungry. And some of them corn tortillas, too.
Awesome. I love that song.
Thank
Where
you.
did you get that before? Or besides, I love eating that. I mean, yeah, do you eat? What is it? Chorizo.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Or chorizo.
I
Just
say
in
I call it
Tucson-
chorizo.
In Tucson, we say it so fast, it's chorizo.
It's chorizo.
Yeah, there you go.
But what inspired that? It's a great song.
Oh.
I've heard you play it live several times.
Oh, thank you. I woke up one morning, it was a Sunday morning, and I had this thought come to my mind. I was walking one morning, the sun was coming up, because usually when songs come into my head, it's first thing in the morning anyway.
Oh.
And then
Mine are at 2 a.m. Ugh.
nocturnal. I don't know how you nocturnal folks do it.
I don't. I go to bed at 8.
I am
I'm up at
completely
4.
worthless after 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah, I'm in bed by 8.
Oh.
It's 5:30. So thanks for being here. We're both like, come on, it's time for our Geritol in bed.
That's right. That's right.
Actually, you're in great shape.
Oh, well, thank you.
You know, I read an article about you about how you're older and you are in such great shape. And how does that make you feel that people, you know, when you're a musician and someone like you who's quite well known in Tucson, how does it make you feel when people are looking and everything you say and do?
Oh, I don't really think about it. I just
See,
want
I
to
don't pay
I just
attention.
want to be kind. I mean, kindness is an adverb. That is on my little whiteboard by my bed, by our bed.
Kindness
is an
always
adverb.
wins.
That's right.
Yeah.
Everything that we do needs to be modified with that. I mean, even if it's a difficult conversation that we need to have with someone, we need to do it with kindness and respect. And
Yeah.
that's that's the main thing I want to be remembered as.
Yeah.
Number
well,
one is kind.
You don't have to worry about that because I know that when I think of you, and a lot of people that I know, like I have several friends that's like, you got Connie Brannock in your office to do an interview, can we come by? And I'm like, no. They're like, Connie Brannock? I go, what?
That is so funny.
You know, it's like,
That's so
y'all
sweet.
been here when she's been at our parties, you know? I mean, because we have a little history. We go back a little bit, but
You're the ukulele queen. I love your ukuleles, and I love ukuleles too.
22. I'm up to 22 ukes now. Oh, what can I say?
Do you know mine just buckled and fell apart with the heat.
Oh, no.
I
Do you need
wasn't
one?
taking enough. No, that's fine. I have my 4-string tenor, which
I
is
love that.
like a supercharged, and I'm much better about keeping it oiled with lemon oil, and that's the one I write on now. But I do love the ukulele because that's what the tool that gave me the opportunity to communicate what I'm hearing in my head, guitar based, because I can't play the guitar.
I play guitar, but my hands are getting arthritic.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's
you're
why I picked
60,
up-
you were born in 55, you said?
I'll be 64.
64, I'm 61. And, you know, yeah, your knees, I'm a double knee, I have double knee replacement. Take your time getting it done.
I'm in no hurry.
Yeah. But yeah, it's interesting what happens to, and all the musicians I've been interviewing lately have all been us aging musicians because we seem to be taking over Tucson in our age, showing that we still got it. So, Lady on the Bus, tell me about the CD, and then we'll listen to the title track.
Oh, well, thank you. Lady on the Bus is I used to see a woman on the Broadway bus, and when I was teaching school, I'd ride my bike in the morning. It was about a 7-mile ride. But as we know, in summertime in Tucson, when it starts getting warm, I would take the number 8 back home. I'd put my bike on and come home. And I often would see a woman, and she was appeared to be. She had many of her things gathered around her in bags, and I imagine that she was maybe not homeless but alone, and living hand to mouth, and she would be talking, and she would you could tell that she wanted to have some connection. And it occurred to me that, like, the song is about, there's a line that says she slips and slides on worn out shoes, and she counts her quarters 2 by 2. carries her memories in a paper sack. Some are fiction, some are fact. Left her inside story outside of her mind, looking for a way to get back before it's out of time. That's the
Wow.
refrain, but it's
Goosebumps.
all about the lady on the bus could be lady on the bus talking to the bus driver, smiling at the people passing by. It's all about any of us could be the lady. We are the lady on the bus. That is
And you're right.
making
Any of
that
us could
connection.
be that. Yes.
It's making, and so she just touched me deeply, and that's why I wrote the song for the lady
Okay.
on the bus.
So we're listening to Connie Brannock, Lady on the Bus, from her Lady on the Bus CD.
Lady on the bus, talking to the bus driver. He's not listening, but she doesn't care. She needs to hear herself communicate, just to make sure that she's still there. Lady on the bus, talking to the bus driver, telling stories from her never land. Lady on the bus, talking to the bus driver. She doesn't need you to hear, she just needs you to understand. Hey, she slips and slides on worn-out shoes, counts the quarters 2 by 2, carries her memories in a paper sack. Some are fiction, some are fact. Left her inside story outside of her mind, looking for a way to get back before she's out of time.
Lady on the bus, talking to the bus driver.
Lady on the bus, talking to the bus driver, smiling at the people passing by. Lady on the bus, talking to the bus
To the bus
driver,
driver.
but no one can figure why. Someday I might be that lady.
Might be that lady.
You might be that lady too.
Might be that lady too.
Open up my eyes and see. She does what she has to do.
What she has to do.
Listen, listen, listen.
Listen, listen, listen.
Listen, listen, listen. Listen with your heart. She steps inside on worn-out shoes, counts the quarters 2 by 2, carries her memories in a paper sack. Some are fiction, some are fact. Left the inside story outside of her mind, looking for a way to get back before she's out, before she's out, before she's out, before she's out of
Awesome. What's next for you?
Oh my gosh. I've been having so much fun playing around town in different configurations.
You're all over the place right now.
And we have Little House of Funk is really a consortium of 12 musicians, and we play together in different outfits. Like we'll have Tiny House of Funk. I'll play cajon if it's a small place that wants to have dance music, or we can do like jazz and some more easy listening with a trio
Full drummer.
quartet.
I've seen you with full drummers.
And then we can have a
front
full
and-
drummer. The Little House of Funk at Monterey Court is a 7-piece band, and they're just, the musicians I play with are absolutely incredible. I mean, they're one of the guiding principles of my life, and both when I was in the military and when I started playing in bands, was that if you're the weakest link, if I'm the weakest link, then the band will be good, or the mission will have a chance of success, or the team will be strong. And so I always like to surround myself with folks that know more than I do, that can bring strength to the situation, and when it comes to music, I can bring passion and my love and joy. The joy I have and my gift for extending that joy and just having a ball. That's more my what I bring. My gift that I bring is that verse, and I want to bring out the best in all the musicians I play with. They're amazing. I mean, I've learned so much playing with so many different.
Do you want to give some of your musicians a little credit?
Oh my gosh! I mean,
Please do.
Well, on "Lady on the Bus," the song you were just listening to, that featured Richard Katz on piano, and he just brought that to life with Mike Levy on bass, and Tyrone Williams did a beautiful job with the second vocals, with the background. I don't even like to call them background because really they're enhancement vocals. And there's on the album, it's everybody in town practically is on it.
Great.
It's I mean, I played with Brian Dean and Coco, because when I started working on the album, I hadn't yet really connected with a lot of the players that I'm working with now. And you know, Brian and Coco were just a joy to work with.
Good.
The gentleman I founded Little House of Funk with is Mikey Paletta.
Mm-hmm.
So in Tiny House of Funk, we have Troy Martin and Mikey Paletta. And Gary Love and I play in every configuration together. He's an incredible saxophone player.
Love
Dr.
him.
Gary Love.
Yes.
Yeah, he's a chiropractor and just amazing. He gets better and better and better and better and better on his.
Yeah, I love him.
And we, from Austin, we were able to acquire the incredible Evan Arredondo, who plays bass, and he plays on the album I'm currently recording. He's an upright bass player.
Oh, nice.
Unbelievable.
Nice.
He plays every kind of bass.
I
but
like that.
he's upright is, oh my gosh. And Richard Katz's voicings and what he does with the songs that I write are, there's no way I could, if you listen to Where Does All the Time Go on the album Lady on the Bus, he just takes a simple 5-chord progression and adds so much harmony and tension and interest with his piano playing that it takes my breath away. It really does.
Good. You feel blessed, I can tell.
I feel blessed. And I get to
are.
play with Carl Cherry.
Wow.
Who's a drummer, bass player. I get to play with, I don't want to leave anybody out. I get to play with Marty Perry. I get to play with the Brito brothers. I mean,
It's a great name, isn't it?
they are, yeah. It's just amazing. I have so much gratitude for. I'm the luckiest musician in town. The fact that I get to play with all these amazing. I get to play with Ed DeLucia sometimes too.
You know what's so cool about this is anybody in
Sabi, I get to play with
Sabra
Sabra
and Mitzi.
I get to play with Sabra and Mitzi. We have a little
Oh my God!
Mama's
Isn't that
Kitchen
Mama?
Sink,
Yeah.
and we get together and play anything we feel like playing.
Yeah, and I love that. I need to catch
Yeah.
that sometime.
Yeah.
I have to start making time to catch some of this local music, and doing the show is going to make me kind of force me to get out and
Well, you are
and
really.
watch. I'm
Every
a
time I
visitor.
turn around, I see a post that you've snagged. I mean, some of my favorites already. I love Eb. Corey's an absolute dog.
Oh yeah. I'm trying to get Tucson to really meet some of our great musicians, and there's an awful lot of them here, and I feel very blessed to not only be part of the music scene, but to have an opportunity to meet so many of them more on a personal level now, to really dig in, and there's nothing worse than a psychotherapist that's going to interview you, you know.
Yeah. There you go. That's why
I'll
you
tell
made me
you.
nervous. Oh, and I have two wonderful drummers beside. I have Danny Brito and there's Carl, but Carl loves to play the bass too.
Right.
And so that I get to play with Josh Peanut Moore, who is just like, he is so funky. And then another amazing young drummer who's moved to Tucson from Connecticut is Joshua Carruthers. Unbelievable. I mean, he's an amazing jazz drummer and can play funk. But the thing I love about Tucson is that it's one big band, really. Everybody plays with everybody.
Yes.
Tanya
You know,
Siegel was the first person that said that to me, and it's really
it's
stuck
true.
with me.
It's true. And yeah, I was restricting myself a couple years ago with just one band, and since that band disbanded, I have played in so many different bands now. And like I said, I'm in 4 or 5 right now, just bopping in here and bopping in there, and I like that. And then I have my band that the 2 bands that I'm very committed to. But I've been enjoying bopping around with bands and everything. And I think that's important for musicians. And I think it's important because, you know, in my day, if you played in a band, you didn't play with anybody else. And I think, how could we not play with incredible musicians? And I think that's...
Yeah.
And I think you might win the ticket of who can play with the most musicians in a year.
Yeah.
There's a plane flying over. I hope if you guys hear that. They're just out there protecting us.
Well, you know what I love about the folk festivals? I get to play cajon.
And you taught me
For
some
other-
stuff on cajon.
Yeah.
I'm going to have you take a look at that cajon and tune it before you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'd
This
love to.
woman is incredible on cajon. And more important, I've got a jam we did, and I saved it, and it's Spanish Rose.
Oh, yeah, Spanish
And
Harlem.
that was it, Spanish Harlem. Connie, you have a great voice for soul, for funk, for jazz, and as I told you when you first walked in, is you got a great voice for ballads. When I hear you do ballads, especially when you get into that Que Sera thing, or there's been a few other,
Thank
you know, my heart just becomes big, and it's through your ballads that I feel the kindness that you
thank
have.
you.
You are kind, and that's what I love about Tucson musicians, is so many of us are just really kind. We tuck our ego aside, and we just use, I don't care, I'm not out for stardom. I just want to make people happy, you know, and by making them happy, I'm happy.
I think when we have the revelation that is what stardom is making each other happy.
I would hope so.
We're all stars. We all have lights to shine.
That's a great way to end the interview. Tell me about the last song we're going to play.
Oh my gosh. Let me think. I don't know if you want to hear a ballad or if you want to hear something funky. You pick.
Well, you know, both of your songs just now were kind of funky, right? The first 2?
Lady on the Bus has a little element of funk in it. I guess if you want to hear about my daddy fishing, play Where Does All the Time Go?
Where Does All the Time Go? Okay.
That's a 3/4 ballad.
Okay, we'll do that.
Kind
Connie,
of autobiographical.
I can't thank you enough for coming in and giving us your time. I know that you're very busy. You still help with the military. You're helping them get resumes. You are giving to the community that you retired from. So a very, very public thank you for doing that with our military men and women. And I think Tucson stands in back of you on that. And you still do some teaching with some music and stuff with them kids. So
Yeah,
thank you so very much. And what is the song again that we're going to...
Where Does All the Time Go?
Okay. Connie, thank you very much. You are Tucson. And Connie Brannock, Where Does All the Time Go?
A long time ago, I was a pretty little girl. My mama dressed me up on Easter Sunday in patent leather and pearls. Daddy, he taught Sunday school. Mama stayed home and drank wine. The neighbors were always whispering things. Daddy thought it was just fine. I remember the sounds of the Chesapeake Bay, a soft syncopated rhythm I can hear to this day. Fishing with my daddy, the tide headed for high, watching the blues running, they almost start to fly. Where does all the time go? My memories fall through my mind like fresh falling snow, drifting across the highways of yesterday, dreams filled with shadows and tonight away. Spent many a year playing in a rock and roll band. We had a lot of good times. Things started getting out of hand. I signed up with Uncle Sam to get away from who I'd come to be. Traded in my darkest days to set the better part of me free. Where does all the time go? My memories fall through my mind like fresh falling snow, drifting across the highways of yesterday, dreams filled with shadows, dance the night away. All